So after helping many women heal from emotional eating, I've noticed something interesting. The women that get the most profound results all have this in common. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist specializing in emotional eating. You might think that these women were perfectly consistent. They didn't have any fear. They just completely trusted the process. They were completely confident, but that's not what I see. In fact, most of my most successful clients, they start off still having a bit of fear, still having a bit of uncertainty. And they, inside of them, for the most part, know that this is the right path forward because they understand something that most of us don't. It's that whenever we feel fear, it's because we're going towards something unfamiliar to us. It's different. It's not what we would expect. It's not the same. That's why it's super easy for you to sign up for a challenge or a diet plan. It feels like, oh, there's no resistance to it because you've done it before time and time again. And that's what gets you trapped in this loop. But when you're trying something different, there's going to be an element of fear, an element of nervousness, an element of uncertainty because you haven't experienced it before. And if you're going to heal your emotional eating, you're going to have to take steps that aren't familiar to you. And so a lot of these women have a bit of fear, but they trust themselves and they start the program and there's even more fear. Within the first couple of weeks of the program, there's more doubt and fear and uncertainty because now you've committed. And that is just your body telling you, this is so unfamiliar to me. I don't know. And you start doubting yourself. It's a way you protect yourself. And if you listen to that fear and you continuously listen to it, and I'm not saying, obviously we have fear for a reason, but you have to be able to discern, is this fear trying to pull me out of something because it's unfamiliar, or is it a genuine danger to who I am? And that's a discernment we need. Usually things that are going to help us get the results we want are going to be uncomfortable. They're going to be out of our comfort zone. They're going to be things we haven't done before, because if we were to keep doing the same things we've done, we're going to stay the same. In order to change, we need to do things that feel different, that look different, that sound different. And we have to take that chance on it. Otherwise, we're going to stay in the same loop and the same discomfort and same pain and stay in our emotional eating. And so what these women actually do differently is that they are open to being uncomfortable. And usually when I'm in these first 2 weeks with clients, I am helping them alleviate a lot of their fears, a lot of the fears and doubts that come up. In a way, they can be, I don't want to say unfounded. They're trying to protect you. And so you're going to have different thoughts about, maybe this won't work. Maybe this will happen. Maybe I can't commit. And so my job and what I help clients do is to see how it can work, how they can move forward, how it's worked for others. And that helps to soften the fear and helps them to move forward through that resistance. We're always going to have some type of resistance in the beginning. And so the truth is, you're never going to 100% feel certain and ready. There's always going to be that little part of you. And especially when you commit, it's going to get louder because it's trying to keep you safe from doing something different to create the change you want. And every successful person, every person that is growing and evolving, they know this. This is where they live. They live in this kind of perpetual discomfort and uncertainty because they're constantly changing and growing. And that's just how our bodies react to change and to growth. And eventually that edge becomes our normal and we push it to another one. So it's not forever you stay in this space. It starts moving forward more and more. And so these women, they start understanding that healing isn't linear. Some weeks might feel amazing and some weeks might feel like you're going backwards. It's all part of the process. And some weeks feel messy in the program. So I know the first 2 weeks are going to be a lot of resistance for clients. I know they're going to have a breakthrough and they're going to feel amazing and then they're going to get pulled back into their emotional eating. I almost see it like clockwork. And that's just how the pattern plays out. We get to one layer and there might be deeper layers we have to go through, but we stay with the program. We stay consistent with it. And sometimes it feels like, we're going to be more emotional or nothing's happening. It's all part of the process. And instead of it meaning that the process isn't working, I've seen the pattern time and time again with clients. I know it's working, and there's a trust in the process, because this is how we actually move through change. We're going to try to resist the change because we want to protect ourselves. That's how our ego is going to try to protect us. And as we go deeper into the emotional eating pattern and get to the triggers and the wounds underneath, we're going to clear a layer of it, but there are going to be deeper layers that come up. So we're going to feel, oh, I finally got it. And then a deeper layer will come up and we have to go deeper into it. And it's all cleaning out that deeper wound, cleaning out what's happening. On the surface, our mind wants things to be in this linear way. Like, I just keep going up. It doesn't work like that. It's up and down, but kind of the trend is moving upwards and moving to a place where you are no longer emotionally eating. And so these women, they're really coachable and they are willing to stay in the discomfort. They don't quit the moment something feels off. They don't abandon themselves when fear shows up. They start understanding how their emotional eating works. They start understanding that they're going to have resistance. And we make those breakthroughs and they start seeing like, oh, I've been holding myself back. And they're really open to changing the way they've been looking at their emotional eating and seeing how they've been holding themselves back. They've been sabotaging themselves. Something else with these women that I notice is that they don't expect instant transformation. They're willing to have a gradual process of reducing and eventually healing their emotional eating. They can come out of the program not having emotionally eaten for the majority of it and still be okay if an emotional eating trigger or urge or episode comes up, because they have the tools. They trust the process. They stay with the process, and this is where the breakthrough happens. Those women that maybe expect an emotional eating episode to come up, they actually are the ones that heal it the most in the most profound way, because they're being kinder and more compassionate and more gentle with themselves. And they know this pattern can have cycles. And I've seen women, finish the program and a few years later, they're no longer emotionally eating because they trust the process. They know they have the tools, but we've done the deeper work in the program to clear out their emotional eating as well. And so every woman inside of the emotional eating evolution program that I've seen create true change, she has stuck with the process. She has moved through her resistance in the first couple of weeks. She has done the deeper work into the triggers, worked with me to get to the deeper root, has been willing and open to try something new, to try new processes, and then stuck with it when maybe another wave of emotional eating came up, and just kept going deeper and deeper into the program, because they can feel the difference in their body. And when you feel that little bit of this is working, you will keep going forward. You'll keep moving forward. And you're also recognizing how you've been holding yourself back, how your fears and doubts have been holding you back, but you're willing to do something different. There's that part of you that's willing to do something different because you want to change this pattern. And so it's not that confidence comes first. Like, I'm 100% confident in this program. It's courage comes first. And courage is not the absence of fear. It is actually feeling that pull and knowing it might be uncomfortable. You have a bit of nervousness, but most of you is like, yes, I'm ready for a change. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, because that's life. There are growing pains. There's nothing in life that happens so perfectly executed. If you think back to childhood, when you lost a tooth or you were growing, everything, you grew out of your toys. That was sad, but you're growing into something else. Life is always sort of bittersweet. There is like the excitement and the sadness, and we have to know when it's time for us to move forward. And if you've been struggling with your emotional eating and you keep telling yourself, keep holding yourself back, you have to really look at that. And I would really encourage you, if you have that pull towards a program, to really put yourself in that position, because my job with my clients is to help them to move past those resistance and doubt, but I can't help them do that unless they're in the program. They have to say yes. They have to make that first step, that first commitment, and then I can help them. And, sometimes I see women struggling to make that decision, but I'm not in a position to help them before they join the program. they have to decide that first, decide that I'm going to be the one to help them and guide them through this process, because it is amazing what can happen when you trust and when you have a bigger vision for yourself, that you want to move through your resistance, you want to move forward, you want to get to the deeper root of your emotional eating and stop avoiding it. What happens is so amazing. And when you have support, you can get there knowing that you can navigate the ups and downs, and you'll have someone there that's been through it, that has guided others through it, so you can feel more confident. So I would just love to invite you, if you are feeling like you do want a different solution to your emotional eating, what you've tried, it hasn't worked, and you feel mostly that pull towards a program, I'd love to invite you to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution Program. This is my 12-week container. It has a step-by-step process, the weekly sessions to help you move through your resistance and your blocks and your sabotages to help you resolve your emotional eating. There are one-to-one sessions with me and the deeper tools to actually shift the pattern at the root level. So if you'd like to find out more about the program, you can find out more below. And if it's resonating for you, the next step would be to book in an emotional eating clarity call with me to see if I can support you in this journey. So if you have any questions about what I've shared today, please let me know. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And I look forward to sharing more with you. And I hope you have a great day.